Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here with Bitcoin Ben, one of my favorite crypto-related YouTube channels. And I wanted to first thank you for joining us today.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely, and you put out a lot of really great work regarding the crypto community and also the monetary system. I wanted to go into this a bit with you because recently Bitcoin pumped like crazy. I believe at 1.42% within a 24-hour period, and obviously it dipped down a little after that. But we can't complain. It's been a good couple weeks, and I wanted to ask you what you think caused this, because some people say it's the Chinese. The Chinese mentioned that they need to embrace blockchain technology, but also there's so many other indicators right now in the market, including possible recession on the horizon, interest rates going into the negative territory. What do you think is really pumping Bitcoin right now?
Well, I don't think we can really point at one event. I think we can point to the environment of the global economic situation overall. There's many factors that probably contributed to it. One of them, I think, in my personal opinion, I think would be the Federal Reserve and their overnight and how much they're injecting into injecting their currency into the system to keep it propped up. And another thing could be China. News is hype. Hype pushes price. And I think we're reaching a point in the global currency and economic system that there's more fear than there is hope. And I think that cryptocurrencies provide, which sounds crazy because they're a relatively new technology, that it's reaching a point where there's a large enough group that feel comfortable with crypto that that now I think there's a large enough group that look at cryptos as a store of value and maybe as the safe purchase, which is exciting but scary at the same time, where the people of the world are going, my God, everything else is on fire. Let me jump on this 10-year-old boat. I mean.
But that's what's really insane right now is we've never seen anything like this in history. Obviously, I believe that we've been in a recession since 2008, papered over with debt and fake currency and all that. But with that said, we're coming up to this crisis where worldwide there's the everything bubble, derivatives bubbles. There's all these debt bubbles, currency bubbles, pension bubbles, student loan bubbles, housing bubbles, and all at the same time we have this new technology. It's only 10 years old, really, and it was essentially invented in order to combat the possibility of a major financial crisis coming out of the past financial crisis. How do you think something like Bitcoin will fare in this new environment when inevitably we see the complete collapse of the global economy?
Well, as you said, it was created to actually fight this. Well, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Litecoin, we're at the Litecoin Summit, they are a deflationary currency. So their job is to eat fiat. That's it. That's all they do. They eat fiat. They collect purchasing power of fiats that are dying. And in this environment, it only makes sense that the deflationary currencies are going to grow in adoption because everyone's running away from the inflationary currencies. As they print more fiat, more people, I think, are starting to realize that this ship's going down. We have a lot of bubbles, quote-unquote bubbles. Well, they're not going to quit blowing them. They're going to keep just pumping, and hyperinflating or shrinkflation, or they have their little tools they can play around with. Well, it reaches a point, and I think it's within, I hope, a year, but I think it's going to happen sooner, that we're going to reach a point where, because when a currency dies, it loses the trust of the community that uses the currency. Well, cryptocurrencies are gaining trust. The fiats are losing trust. There's only one. There's only one escape, and in the modern technology, if you want to head out and buy gold, that's great. You know, gold's a great like store of value, but nowadays you can download an app, you can purchase a cryptocurrency, and not leave your house.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and there's a lot of fluctuation in the markets. You see, for example, like going back to the 2001 dot-com bubble, you had 95% terrible companies, 5% that were really good, but all the good ones got brought down by the 95% in the bubble burst. Took almost 10 years for Amazon to recover. And in the crypto market, much faster moving market, we saw a similar bubble in 2017, which was there's a lot of really terrible cryptocurrencies that were getting built up for no reason. I wanted to hear your thoughts on going forward. There's so many great cryptocurrencies that are based on the usual general subjective value argument of scarcity, application use, demand, and great blockchain infrastructure. But there's also a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap. There's scams. There's that kind of stuff that ends up kind of I don't know, fading. It kind of paints everything with a broad brush with the average public. What do you think it'll take to get mass adoption from people when we still have so many issues? Are we going to see the crypto market skyrocket again and then fall because of another bubble, or are we going to see adoption soon? What do you think?
Well, as for the crap cryptocurrencies, those I think will always exist because it's unfortunately in reality there are people that will buy them, and in a free society you have to allow people to be stupid, and unfortunately there will be stupid people, but I think like at events like this, like the Litecoin Summit, and also with Bitcoin, with its reputation, growing adoption, that people without knowledge will trust the crowd. And that's why whenever there's a fire, everyone runs the same direction because they're trusting the person in front of them. And that's what's happening with cryptocurrency, where you have your major coins. Well, if you don't know anything about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, but your friend who you trust is lending that trust of, I hold Litecoin. Well, I trust Ben, so I don't know anything, but I'll trust Litecoin, And I'm sorry, what was the other part of your question?
Well, just essentially getting rid of the crappy currencies. You answered that, and the adoption question. I think it's interesting going forward that there's a lot to be said about convenience. Like, for example, like a tyranny is enforced unto the populace via the hand of convenience. Oh, well, it's easier to do things this way. That's how China's pushing their digital currencies. That's how India has tried and failed, etc. And then in comes Bitcoin, Litecoin, all these other cryptocurrencies. I mean, one of the things I have to ask is, going into the future, how do we get the average person, and would convenience be a good way to kind of just bring them in, utilizing great technology under the guise of convenience, like tyranny is enforced on us under the guise of convenience? Yeah,
well, I think the rate of adoption is actually twofold. You have the front end user experience, then you have the actual back end that they don't see. Well, there's a lot of the cryptocurrency back end that exists in their life now. They just don't know it. Your iPhone uses it. If you have a BlackBerry telephone, that's all encrypted. So cryptography is in your everyday life. You're just not a cryptographic coder, So now the user interface with shopping and everything like that, that's growing more because more corporations, and there's going to be a transition from a credit card centric shopping experience to an app centric shopping experience. The youth are they'll app it all day, where like people my age, we're more used to credit cards, swipe and go. Well, that's all actually just like retraining of your muscle memory, and that'll just naturally happen as these corporations they usually use like incentives and like discounts. That's why I've actually said on my show, watch for the point whenever you hop on a website and you're rewarded for shopping with Bitcoin. Well, now we have many platforms that do that, where you hop online, you shop on Amazon or wherever, and you're rewarded in a wallet with Bitcoin. Well, that actual Bitcoin has value, and corporations don't care how they collect money. They just want to collect the money. They don't care if it's dollars, yens, whatever. If it has value, they'll accept it for exchange.
There's motivation for both sides. I've seen this all over the world. It's often been said, no matter where you are, people are the same everywhere because people just want to feed their families, live a good life, etc. And that's why it benefits people to do good things on the market and, you know, help each other out and provide mutual benefit for both sides. And what I find really interesting is actually the use of things like Redcoin. Like I remember years ago, John McAfee pumped Redcoin, and what happened was all these little kids who had no idea they had cryptocurrency made a ton of money because they were, you know, getting Redcoin from their video games and stuff, and they had absolutely no idea it was a cryptocurrency. I think that's a really great way of adoption, because it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, you should get into cryptocurrency, and most people are like, what is that, some nerd money? And meanwhile, it's like, here's, you know, solutions. Here's solutions to problems. They have no idea it's cryptocurrency. They unwittingly adopt cryptocurrency, and next thing you know, you'll be like, remember that fiat thing? That was a pretty bad failure. But
remember this? You know, yeah.
But I mean, with that said, I think this is really important, getting that word out and being able to bring this message to the populace, because it's really important. Central banking is one of the biggest, I think, financial forms of terrorism on the planet. What you see happen to people, the poverty worldwide, homelessness. People talk about wages. Well, the wages are low compared to the price of living because of the price of living going down or going up all the time. And, you know, we have all these problems, wars, all these things that are, you know, correlated with the monetary system, and then we have solutions. Now, you bring those solutions to people on a daily basis on your channel. You do really good work with your Bitcoin Ben channel. Where can people find more of your work and join you and watch your stuff? And can you explain what you do?
Oh yeah, well, right now, check me out on YouTube. You know, Bitcoin Ben channel, that's it. And then I have a website, which is www.bitcoinben.io. And right now what I'm involved with is I'm actually doing a world adoption tour, where I've actually been to Canada, the UK, Texas, South America, California, like New York, everywhere, where I have local meetups that are free. You know, I show up, I put it out on my channel. We've had hundreds and hundreds of people show up at these little events that are at restaurants. We're drinking beer, we're eating chicken wings, you know, average people stuff. And once you get around a community, because we're still pretty early in this, once you get around and you recognize there's people in your town that watch like my show or like your show, and you meet them in real life and you get to talk one-on-one cryptos, you know, you can't quit talking, because you're like, oh my God, I feel like I live on an island, you know. And once they start to understand that there's a community out there, then they get more active in it. And that's what I encourage at my meetups is, you know, create a YouTube channel, create any kind of channel, write an article to your local newspaper. You know, they may or may not publish it. It doesn't matter, try. You know, inject your energy into what you believe in, and that will grow.
I absolutely agree. If you're not doing something that you enjoy in life, you shouldn't be doing it. You only got one life, guys, and I think that's incredibly important. And people say, well, it's easier said than done. Well, of course it's easier said than done. Everything's easier said than done.
Yeah. Well, that's not for me. I actually have a speech impediment, so it's not easier said than done. But yeah, but and we can actually wrap it up with you can't change the world unless you get out in it. And that's what I always respected about your channel, was you weren't just sitting there like, hey guys, everything sucks. Yeah. You know, you're out there putting your neck on the line, and my friends, his neck's on the line. You're out there trying to change the world with action. It's the only thing that works.
Well, I really appreciate the kind words, and it's just duty. And at the end of the day, you feel the duty, and you need to do whatever you can to live up to your own expectations, right? So I really appreciate you joining us. Everyone should check out Bitcoin Ben's channel. Links below in the description and the comments, and stay tuned for much more. We're here at the Litecoin Summit. There's lots more coming. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson with Bitcoin Ben signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. Like what you see here at WAM, don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We cannot do it without you guys. Every donation is extremely, extremely appreciated as we're getting incredibly shadow banned. We've lost 80% of our audience since January of 2019 and counting. They are ripping us apart here on YouTube, and the only thing we could do in the meantime as we prepare for the next big step is to ask for help from the viewers that support our free information that we try to post on a daily basis. You can also find us on Subscribestar, where just $1 a month, that's all it takes, $1 a month is all it takes to truly make a huge difference. If everyone gave $1 a month, it would change everything for independent media, and we could win this information war, and we can defeat the mainstream medias eventually. And of course, on Subscribestar, we post subscriber-only content that you'll only see on Subscribestar. So make sure to pledge there, become a patron. That makes a huge difference, guys. And also, don't forget to check out our Bitcoin address below in the comments and description, as well as on the screen for you to scan if you please. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on the alternatives. We will likely be deleted by YouTube in the next 2 years. It's already happening on a vast scale, so make sure to find us on float.app. That's flote.app. At Josh Sigurdson, as well as at WAM, W-A-M. Float.app is replacing every social media, and I mean, it's just incredible the opportunities it provides for not just creators, but for the average person who wants to get away from these nannies telling them what they can or cannot see. They plan to replace Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon. You could subscribe to us on Float and pledge with cryptocurrency. It's really innovative. We are also on BitChute at World Alternative Media, as well as so many others, Minds, PocketNet. You can find us at World Alternative Media on Instagram. There's many options. And finally, don't forget to join us at Anarchapulco 2020, the famous event, the best Liberty event known to mankind, other than perhaps Anarcho Vegas 2020. There are 2 major events coming up that we are extremely excited about, and you can use promo code WAM, that's W-A-M, and save 10% on your tickets to these legendary conferences. There's so many amazing people speaking there. You won't want to miss it. So make sure to support in any way you can, even if it's just sharing our videos, pressing like, pressing to be notified. Anything helps, folks. You are the change you wish to see. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.